Yeah, that brings up a listener question, which is, let's say you're noticing something's not okay, you're getting angry, um, but then people are trying to push you around
Mm.
and maybe try to control your experience. How can we stand up for ourselves? Obviously, we're expressing it, hopefully expressing it with ourselves, but is there a way to channel that anger towards others in relationship? Or we
Yeah.
can start to communicate the anger.
Yeah, this happens so often, right? Especially I find this with clients when they start to feel more connected to their anger. People in their lives are like, wait a minute,
Right.
this is new and I don't like this, right? Or some version of
Hmm.
that. Um, there's so many thoughts that I have. Let me see if I
Yeah.
can sort of
And this is a
distill
big
them.
question,
Yeah, it's a big question. And it
definitely.
does, I think the answer is different if depending on the context, right? Like, is someone pushing back on you in a text message when you
Right.
have a moment to yourself to kind of collect yourself versus face to face versus,
True.
right? Like, so I think the moments when it's happening not in real time, whether
Hmm.
let's say a text, um, and I think that's a moment to actually to step away and to come back into your body, whatever that looks
Mm.
like for you, right? So whether it's a song, whether it's movement, whether it's, going to hug your dog, that's a big one for me. Um,
Shout out
like,
to Willis.
yes. That is like giving yourself that break
Yeah.
because what can often happen, and especially in the world we live in where like the notifications are going off all the time and there is this pressure. Like I live my life with my phone mostly on D&D because I'm like I'm not available even if I might be
Yeah.
available.
Yeah.
So like giving yourself that break of like I don't need to, they're pushing back on my anger, I don't need
Yeah.
to respond right now.
Yes.
I can, put my phone down and go into the other room for 5 minutes and nothing, that's fine. Like
That's
that's
it.
not a big
Yeah.
deal.
Yeah.
So refinding that anger, because usually what I find happens in those moments is either you collapse internally
Hmm.
or it's like, you turn the flames up to like 10 and you
Hmm.
probably don't want to respond from either of those places, ideally,
Yes.
right?
Hmm.
So like figuring out like, okay, how do I either need to like refind my body? Like I even just did it now, like where's my spine, right? Because when we
Yes.
collapse, we kind of do this.
That's true. Yeah.
It might be more subtle than that.
Hmm.
You don't always like end up curling up into a ball, but it's some version of that. So like
Hmm.
where are my shoulders? Where's my spine?
Yeah.
Am I aware of the back of my body or am I just collapsing forward? Which is a really instinctual thing to do, right? To like literally protect our most vulnerable
Right.
parts. Um, so that's if like it's happening not in real time and you can
Hmm.
take some time.
Yeah.
I think if it's happening in real time, where like let's say you're having a conversation with someone, and this is trickier, of course. You're having a
Hmm.
conversation with someone and you're expressing anger and they're pushing back on it.
Yeah.
It's a different version of where is my body, right? So,
Yes.
are you aware of your feet? Like that's a big one
Mm.
for me. Um, Not like be calm. I think sometimes when we're like be in your body, there's the okay, I'm gonna be calm. It's really hard to be calm while you're experiencing someone either be angry at you or push back. So where are
Hmm.
your feet? Right? And then any number of options, including, hey, can we take a break?
Hmm.
Or I need 5 minutes, or I'm a big proponent of the little white lies. And I absolutely say this to clients,
Yeah.
like say you need to use the restroom when you don't need
Yeah.
to use the restroom, or I think I hear my phone ringing, or the dog is
Yep.
barking, or I mean, I guess you
Hmm.
can't pretend that the dog is barking when they're not, but you get the idea, right? Like just if you need to remove yourself, remove yourself.
Yes. Find
Like,
whatever way you can to do that
yeah,
for safety.
yeah, 100%. And so giving, and that there's really just, there's a permission in that of like, you do not have to brace and
Hmm.
make it through, right?
That's
Those
right.
of us who have had overwhelming experiences of anger probably are used to just like we brace until
Yeah.
it's done.
Yep. Get through it.
And that's a really, that's a learned behavior. And it may have kept you really safe in many scenarios, right? I'm not here to say like that's not the way to do it, But this is about exploring what are some other options,
Hmm.
right? If you're having like a big blowout fight with your mom in the kitchen, Mom, I need a breath of fresh air, right?
Yep.
Like I'm gonna walk around the block. I'll be back in 5 minutes,
Break that
right?
cycle.
Right, yeah, because a lot of anger, especially with people who we know, it runs in cycles, right?
Hmm.
Like you say something, they say something, and then
Right. Back and forth.
yeah. So if possible, giving yourself that break. If that
Hmm.
isn't possible, or if it happens so fast that afterwards you're like, wait, what the hell happened?
Yeah.
I think being able to reflect,
Hmm.
right? As opposed to like, oh, fuck, I did it again, or this is never going to change. Like when you're able, like it is
Yeah.
helpful, I find, to reflect afterwards, even if it didn't go the way you want it to, which
Yeah.
happens all the time.
Hmm.
Right. And being able to ideally reflect with as much kindness towards yourself as possible.
Hmm.
Right. Because working on your anger is not going to be helped by being angry at yourself.
Right. Just gonna feed it.
Yeah. And a lot
Yeah.
of it, a lot of us HSPs can be really self-critical. I have that capacity as well. And so it could be really easy to spin into the, oh, I fucked up. Oh,
Yep.
I did this wrong. Why don't I ever learn? That just, and even as I'm saying these things, and I'm not even angry right now, I could feel the like, ugh, it's so
Yes.
heavy.
It's so heavy. You just beat yourself down
Yeah.
instead of just making space for the anger and like, I'm a human with emotions and it's hard to figure things out in the moment, especially as an
Yeah.
HSP. When we need
Yeah.
time to process, you don't always get to do that real time.
And there's something to be said also for like in the reflection after of like, what would you have wanted it to feel like?
Yeah.
This isn't an ideal world and we're not shooting for perfection, but could you imagine that scenario, whatever the details were, feeling a little different? Right?
Yeah.
It's the imagining something different, I think that is so important because we can get really stuck in the loop of like, this is what always happens.
Hmm.
And so I'll do that with clients sometimes when they come in, they're like, and this and this. And I'm like, okay, could you imagine this having gone a different way?
Yeah.
Even if we don't have to figure out the how right now.
Hmm.
Like we can get really stuck in that. I think a lot of us
Yeah.
HSPs also have that capacity. How am I going to do the thing that I want to have happen? But if we can hang out with what do you imagine it would look like, feel like, sound like if it was different? That's important sort of repatterning for your nervous system as well.
Hmm.
That's an opportunity to find a song or to draw it or
Yeah.
what did you want this to feel like? Because that's
Yes.
also really validating of like, oh, yeah, this isn't what happened, but my desire for this different experience matters. And I can have that a little snippet of that experience now.
Yes. You're already changing the narrative,
Yeah.
getting to try it on and then getting to talk to yourself differently
Yeah.
surrounding the emotion.
It's also a way to if you're doing it in hindsight, it's a way to experience it and kind of store that internally for the next time, right?
Exactly.
Because when we're in the heat of the moment, whatever the moment is,
Hmm.
if we haven't experienced the thing, right? If we haven't learned, whether it's anxiety or anger or whatever, if we haven't learned how to do the thing that we're wanting to do,
Yeah.
if we haven't learned it out of the moment, you're probably not going to learn it in the moment, which is why
Right.
people saying just calm down is so inherently unhelpful,
Yes,
you know.
exactly.
Um, so being able to play around with it outside of the heat of the moment, right? To just sort of
Yes.
have a little bit of practice. It's
Hmm.
like anger practice, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Just like you're making your playlists
Hmm.
out of the moment. Yeah, try on some different things in your mind. So you'll have that in the background next
Yeah.
time or, you know, a
I'm a
few times
huge
from now.
proponent of like trying it on before you need it, just in
Yeah.
general, whether it's anger or something else. But like, if you haven't tried it beforehand, you're not going to have access to it in the heat of the moment. In the heat of the
Hmm.
moment, if I'm really pissed, I'm not going to be able to tell you anything, like
No.
it's just not happening. But I know where my phone is and I know, usually, and I know, how to find music on it. And
Yep.
like, so it's a way to really care for future you of like,
Hmm.
I'm going to practice this now so that I have it when I need it. It's like taking your
Yes.
vitamins.